Rolling Stone!
Hello everyone and welcome over to race number 12, I think, of the NR2003 PMU Cup Series Season 6. We're now finally out of the USA, starting our international tour here at Motorsport Canada, or as some people might refer to as Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So it's still quite a known track to NASCAR, and still gonna be interesting to see what racing will bring this time. Some excellent racing we've seen in Canada in the past few years, so let's hope this is better. So now we're gonna go as quick as we can, because today I'm expecting to run and away we go. Here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Car, after several attempts to start this race, here we go. Lane Hill tries to pull himself away from the rest of the field, as Drew Walker seems to be having a bit of a threat. Seems to be threatened by the fair pay to take that second place spot. Doesn't look like so at this particular point. And Nikki arrived right behind her. And we see some Mercedes up in the top 10. That's pretty interesting to see. And look as though that this is going to be really close racing, and I don't think that this is a good fight, that everyone is going to come back alive. Just look at all these cars. Look at the 38 cars in a road course. That is just something, at least. Oh, and Albert Extras seems to be struggling at the moment already. That's something. I don't know what's going on with Albert Extras. In fact, he's driving a few seasons old BMW. So I don't know what's going on anyway. Back up towards the front as Lane Hill continues to lead at Canada after the first lap. Drew Walker still right in front of him. Drew Walker, don't forget, he has won races here before, so potentially a second race win, potentially here at Canada. Probably one of his greatest drives here would definitely be Canada. Or could be anyone else stealing the show? That's a big question mark too. I guess everyone else could steal and cause an upset to anyone else. Let's take a look at all the cars. And seems Austin Leon is falling a bit behind now. He's currently second to last right now. And Lynn Hill starts pulling away, and Sophia Petty makes her way into second place, getting past Drew Walker. And the same goes for Bouchard, getting past Nicky Rive. So we're seeing a couple of overtakes at almost the entirety of the same time at this particular point of the track. Looks like these could be the easiest parts to overtake. Lane Hill continues to lead, but maybe Sophia Petty might be able to chase Lane Hill down as she can possibly can, because anything can happen. Still, it could be anybody's race. Hopefully, Lane Hill can actually win for his own team this time, compared to his other race win in Michigan when he was driving a Dodge for SLR, I suppose. And there we go. This looks better when it comes to racing. Ooh, who's that? Judney. Looks as though that he's trying to take his teammate over for a position, I don't know, 13th place actually. And this looks like we have a number of good opportunities to overtake at this track, specifically compared to the last race here. So I guess it makes it easy for cars to overtake, because road courses can be hard to overtake. Lane Hill continues to lead at this particular track. Sophia Petty still in second place. Third place Drew Walker. Fourth place Bouchard on an interestingly good run since God knows exactly how long. Solomon Sheridan seems to have started to get his career back on top. Had a bit of a slip so far in the season. I missed a few high position finishes. For instance, I think he finished second place. Yeah, he finished second place at Michigan from Lane Hill. And look at Solomon Sheridan now trying to take over Nicky Rive for fifth place, I think. And he looks like he's going to slowly get it. And a close shave. And now the Chevy is being sandwiched between the two Mercs. And Owen Scott in seventh place, being chased by a couple of Toyotas. As Ruben Gonzalez tries to overtake for eighth position, I think. That's Riley Hill, I think, in that purple car. And looks like the number 2 of Allergy will try and do exactly the same. And look at Camry Sr. seems to be on a good run right now. Now he's got Kyle Balders right in front of him. Seems to me that this Dodge is working fine for Camry Sr. That's what brought him a race win this season. And the top 3 are now pulling away, and it looks as though we might see a battle for the lead between these 3 cars. It's for Sophia Petty trying to crawl in closer to the number 54 car, and looks as though Nicky Rive wants to get that position back from Solomon Sheridan. It looks as though not to avail, but I think Solomon Sheridan might also be under pressure on trying to take over Bouchard too. So a potential draft pass on Bouchard could be on the cards. So it seems to me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look, we see a battle for the lead. Looks as though the number 43 of Sophia Petty has made an easy pass on the 54, and she takes the lead here at Canada. What an astonishing pass. It looks like that part of the track is very easy when it comes to overtakes, so there we go. So number 43 is your new race leader here at the Canada Motorsport Park. And so far, the game has not ended yet, or as of this whole particular race has not ended yet. We're still in lap 6, so still it is anybody's race. But I guess that is a good opportunity to see the number 43 leading for once. But what can Leon Hill do? Or what can maybe Drew Walker do? Drew Walker hasn't scored a race win so far yet this season, so potentially could be back on the front at Canada Motorsport at one of probably his best tracks so far in his career. Bouchard is still standing there. He's still in front of Solomon Sheridan. I think he's going to turn a whole lot of cars behind him into a train now. And it looks as though Nicky Wright might have the move. Oh, and is that Owen Scott? I think Owen Scott is coming up front now. So this is going to be even better to see. What can Solomon Sheridan do? I think he might have the opportunity to get past the KFC car of Daniel Bouchard. Does he make it? Maybe all three cars can take over Bouchard all in one go. Solomon Sheridan makes it. So does Nicky Wright, I think. But doesn't make it easy. Bouchard doesn't make an easy move for Nicky Wright. But I think he also makes a stick as well. Owen Scott tried to do the same as well. Bouchard staying on a position that he doesn't want to be. That particular part of the track. He doesn't want to be on the outside. He's getting overtaken again and again and again. Now this will be the third car who'll get overtaken. There's Owen Scott still on the side of Bouchard, and he's still got Riley Hill being put under pressure as well. Owen Scott makes his way up front, and now Riley Hill will do exactly the same thing. So it seems to me that Bouchard is already falling apart right now, having started so high up the order on the grid. But it seems as though that his car is not working out for him at the moment. Oops-a-daisy. Right, we got to go back up front and see what's going on. Petty continues to lead here at this track in Canada, Mosport. We're currently in lap 7 still. Still not even halfway up the race, but the top 3 seems to be out of sight. Well, almost out of sight. They're still pulling away and also splitting also separating from each other for the time being. And here comes Sheridan, and I think he's bringing Nicky Wright with him, maybe to assist her mentor, who's currently right up front. And it's still anybody's game. And Leon Hill might have a plan set in mind, but we don't know yet. But let's compare the times of the top 3 positions. Sophia Petty seems to be slower than Leon Hill at the moment, and presumably even Drew Walker as well. So I think another battle could be coming up pretty soon. This could be a distraction to the somewhat domination of the number 43. My words is so bad, I just can't think. You can see how competitive these cars are at this particular track. It is a very competitive track. As I try to make this race better and better. We'll take a look at the back to see what is going on. And so far, Austin Young is not in last place still, but still holding on, still struggling, has not been able to hold on to any of the points position as of yet. And let's see how this American bring. Mercedes have done a reasonably good job so far this season. This could be a breakthrough moment for Mercedes at least. It looks like Solomon Sheridan seems to be catching up to Drew Walker right now. So, I don't know how fast is he. He's certainly faster than Drew Walker. So, looks like these two teammates are now together. We'll see how the battle plays out between the two. Maybe Sheridan could probably get closer, but I'm not entirely sure what his times are. We don't know if it's good enough, but we'll have to wait and see. But look at Solomon Sheridan. He's closing in on the 47 now. These two drivers have yet to win a race this season, but could be up for a change. As Solomon Sheridan's still looking at the rear of Drew Walker. They're going together, and so does the leaders up front. Leon Hill still not find a way to get past the number 43. But this could still be a game changer. We are now on lap 10, so 18 laps to go. Oh, and by the way, there aren't any pit stops, but optional pit stops for anyone who needs it. For instance, if you have a problem, if your car's crashed, this could be a pit stop for you. Who knows? Anyways, looks as though that a train is coming. Solomon Sheridan trying to get past number 47, and it looks as though Nicky Rabb has joined in on the party as well. Here comes Solomon Sheridan. I think he's going to make an attempt on the number 47. These are like two of the greatest drivers we're seeing right now here at Canada. All together, side by side. Well, not side by side, but close to each other. No caution as of yet, but we will see how it all plays out. You can see how close they are. They are really close. It seems as though that Drew Walker might be holding the guys up front. Nicky Rabb is really faster than anyone, so I guess this might have pushed them into a battle thanks to the draft. Yeah, they seem pretty high. Leon Hill is still getting as close as he can possibly can, but still to no avail. And same position goes for the three cars behind him, and looks like Nicky Rabb seems to be trying to make an attempt as well. Looks like she's trying to woo CTM with her surprising moves right now. It looks as though she's going to go in between. Oh my gosh, that's a bit of a close shave. She doesn't yet get past the 11 other yet, but I guess that will give the 11 the opportunity of a potential pass on 47. Try and make it easy for him. If only he doesn't make mistakes. He's going round and round, side by side, right behind the 47. 47 is still blocking them. He's on their way still. The number 47 is pretty much dying to want to make the best out of him, but it looks as though that his tires aren't doing any good for him. So he might not have a choice, but this could be his I guess he might have a plan set in mind to do something about it. So why don't we have a look down the order and see what everyone else is up to. There's Cat Rose, the sole Cadillac on the field so far. And back up front as number 43 still leads. And here comes Rive. It looks as though Sheridan might be in trouble around there. And as we see number 15 joining on the party. Looks like Nikki Rive might have a better chance and overtaking Solomon Sheridan. Oh, not quite, but she does it. She goes side by side on the number 11. I think it's going to make it easy for her, but does Solomon Sheridan respond with his driving? Side by side, side by side, side by side, and Nikki Rive goes up front and looks at Riley, who will try to do the same as well on the number 15. And looks as though he'll try to do exactly the same thing as well. And probably Owen Scott, his other teammate, will try to do the same as well. And it is likely he will definitely do so. So it seems that Solomon Sheridan is going to have to save it up for the time being. That will give Drew Walker a bit of a cleaner, well, a more comfortable position right now. There we go. The battle between 1 and 1, and those are the two cars, 43 versus the 54, and still close. We've seen a similar battle between Chernstad and Gonzalez exactly last race ago here at this track, and unfortunately went into disappointment with Gonzalez losing an engine and Chernstad going on to win that particular race. As we see, the Chernstad is pulling away slightly, so that's no good news for the number 54, who has to get put up with setting up faster lap times. And Nikki Rive is now on the charge behind Drew Walker this time. Maybe Lewin Hill is keeping number 43 at bay because we've still got some time left. We're now halfway of this race, and things are getting more exciting right now. We've seen our favorite drivers up front now, and Sophia Petty could get the chance of a race win. Oh, here comes Lewin Hill alongside Sophia Petty. I think Lewin Hill might have had a plan, and look at him going side by side alongside the 43. You can see how he's setting up a lot of faster lap times, and must have eventually paid off. And he just goes up front, but Canley, oh my gosh, Sophia Petty, close shot for the two. That could have ended up in tragedy. Whoa, close shot. The number 43 was bound to make a mistake, and certainly that would have put the number 54 into, I'd say, absolute agitation for what he just saw. What a bit of a scare we just saw right now. Though, you know what? It's worth having a replay on this one, because that was a very close shave between the two. So, here's how it all started. We see the 54 attempted an overtake on this particular straight. Probably the straightest of the track, and the easiest part of overtaking. As 54 goes side by side with 43, tries to make it an easy one. 43 tries to fight back as much as she possibly can, and then there was a close shave. You can see there was so close. You can see that the tires are so close to each other between the right wheel and the left front wheel of the two cars, respectively. Go on board. And you can see how close they were before. That could have ended up in tragedy. Like a potential tap, I'd say. But Lewin Hill eventually gets up front once again. Right, let's continue. Let's see how Drew Walker is doing. Okay, he's a bit faster, but obviously due to the fact that these two have been battling. So maybe we don't know if the tires are going to last for the two because of how much they were putting much effort into it up front. Let's hope they save it up towards the end of the race. So Lane Hill's still up front, 43 in second place. And, well, 47 up front might... Well, 47 right behind them might have an outside chance if anything bad happens to them. So the 43 does have plenty of other chances to do so if she wants to get back up front and live the name of the Petty name. Live long Petty. The number 43 has only won in this series twice. And could be a third time, this time under a different name. And that is this particular different driver, Sophia Petty. Okay, Leon has damage. Yes, I think it's just how it is. Like, the lines aren't great, so that's why some cars have ended up onto the wall. That's the same situation we've had in back in Bristol, I think, where they're not very lined up properly. And already we're seeing 43 trying to make an attempt once more. It appears that she is not done yet with the number 54. Let's see if she can take it once more. Still not a way of getting past. Looks like they are definitely pulling away from the 47. Already you can see Drew Walker is almost no way in sight. And they're still closing together. Look at them two go. It's what we bring racing here in Canada. And to be frank, I'm very eager to see the championship standings right now, and I mean currently live, but unfortunately I don't have the energy to do so, because I won't be able to remember where the point standings are at this particular point. But as it stands, it looks as though the Leon is set to lose his championship lead after this race, as Cameron Senior seems to be in a more comfortable position enough for him to at least outscore Leon due to the fact that he's had no points. He's in a non-points paying position, and Cameron Senior in a much better position. In a more, he's definitely in that position where he would have outscored him by now. So there you go. So Cameron Senior, good luck to him. Let's see how he can handle. Hopefully luck plays out for him compared to what happened last race, where he got smashed out of Chicagoland by he smashed out of Chicagoland alongside the two Mercedes, Sophia Petty and Nikki Rove. But now let's hope that this doesn't happen the same thing here. Probably unlikely, because this is a road course, which is a very different challenge compared to the last race. Let's go on board the 43. You can see that Lane Hill is trying to get himself away this time. But you can compare to the two cars, that these two cars have very good reliable equipment. and based on the fact that there are running other top status team, so technically they're equal, although Lin Ho does have a bit more due to the fact that the team have won a championship once. That was back in season 1 with Kendrick Meeks on the throne. And you can see, and now, I guess these two cars does have different abilities when it comes to path of the track. Maybe Sophia Petty is better on the straights. Maybe Lin Ho is better on the corners. Who knows? That reminds me of an Initial D. So Sophia Petty is still holding herself a second place at the moment. Probably the same thing that will happen to Lin Ho. Trying to keep Forty at bay in case if anything happens and then the opportunity arises. The gap is already opening up, so yep, nowhere else apart from them in sight, almost. You can see how racy the number 43 is alongside number 54. And Bouchard still holding on to a top 10 position so far, although he's got a more aggressive camera seen right behind him. Gonzalez falling back a little bit, but still holding on to the 10th place spot. There is, I think, A.G. Judney. Oh, there's a bit of a wreck. Well, potential wreck of Carl Waters. What happened to Carl Waters? He's got damage at the rear, so we've got to find out what's happened to Carl Waters. Okay. Somehow he got smashed. Let's see what happened. Oh my gosh! Could that have been a yellow flag? But for some reason it's not. You can see what happened. Carl Waters got involved in a collision between Gonzalez, smashing him onto the wall. And bang on, that dents his hopes of any chance of getting any higher. It looks as though he's losing in many positions now. Where is he right now? He was 14th, now he's around 22nd. That's more of a dent to his any chance of probably even scoring position. We don't know yet, but let's take a look again and see how it all happened. Kyle Waters gets pushed out by Gonzalez onto the wall, just like a madman. I don't know if this is intentional or it could be something, I don't know. But that is potentially, we're going to have to say, this has to be investigated after the race. Because with no caution calling out, then I think these drivers need to have a talking to after this race for what's happened. Like, Carvalho's just got dumped. I don't know if he's got space. Oh, Sophia Petty up front, but we'll find out shortly. We'll find out shortly. So anyway, we go another angle. We see what's going on. Oh no, it's not Gonzalez. It's James Jameson. Okay. I am so stupid, because that's definitely going to piss a certain someone off. Oh, and James Jameson almost got into the side of Dex Miyazaki. So it's not Gonzalez. It's Jameson amidst a similar scheme, like a blue and white car. Let's go on board the 62. Well, that was an unfortunate smash. Anyway, I don't know if I can call it a caution, but, well, I don't know how to call a caution manually. Anyway, so Sophia Petty is up front now. So let's see, Sophia Petty making a move on the number 54. And going alongside. And it looks like it's going to be an easy one for her this time. And she goes up front very comfortably. Now, let's get on with the rest of the race. We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 laps to go. And Nicky Rive up into 3rd place. Where is Drew Walker? That's a big question. Where's Drew Walker? Okay, Drew Walker is missing. I have no idea where he is. Oh, he's down. Oh, he's in 6th place. So he was 3rd, but now he's down into 6th place. Oh my gosh, that was a close moment I just saw between Dixon and CJ Williams. A lot of great racing down there. Anyway, so Drew Walker is the one losing down at the moment. And Nicky Rive up into 3rd place, but Solomon Sheridan, he gives it a push. And look at Drew Walker, he's now losing ground already. It looks as though we have a real battle here. We have almost 4 cars battling for 3rd place now, with Nicky Rive up front. And the battle is still on between the two, so I keep paying attention. You can see how these cars are technically struggling from behind Nicky Rive. Seems to be, I don't know if she's slower than the cars up front. It looks as though it's trying to pull a train. We have a tomato of 2 CTMs in between the 2 cars. Well, technically 2 cars. Oh, Owen Scott seems to have caused Solomon Sheridan a bit of a fright, I guess. And he attempts to move, but not quite. Solomon Sheridan recovers, and he goes up front, and he blocks any attempt of an overtake at the moment. Oh, and Lean Hill back up front. How did it all happen? It's at the very same track where it was easy to overtake, and Lean Hill attempts a move, and he's got it. He goes for a bit of a cheeky move on the side of foot number 43. And he goes to the front. And without any further issue, we are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 laps to go. And Nicky Rive is about to get overtaken by Solomon Sheridan. And Owen Scott will try and do the same as well. Sheridan gets through, and so goes Owen Scott. And so does Riley Hill. And the CTM cars gets a front, and so does the one car of from Lena Motorsports. Drew Walker is dropping out of the top 10 now. I don't think they're going to be able to get towards the leaders in time before the end of the race. As you can see, Sophia Petty might be making a move anytime soon again, and this is gonna get a whole. This is gonna get even more tense in the closing laps of this race. Yeah, there is still no caution yet. That I thought I'm seeing flashing lights around. Oh, and Riley Hill gets past the number 36 for 4th place, I think. So we have 2 laps to go. And so far, Lean Hill is trying to keep the 43 away from the lead right now. And still trying to do his best. Trying to get his work cut out as much as he can possibly can. But who knows? This could be a moment of things to come towards the end of the race. We're coming up to the end of the penultimate lap of the race. And hopefully we'll start the white flag lap, as in the last lap of the race. Still, it could be these two, or it could probably be neither. If anything happens to them, if these two collide after such an intense rivalry, probably could be anybody else. Solomon Sheridan could be up for a surprise. We don't know yet. But the battle is it's going to be so intense between the two. 54 versus 43. Here we go. This is going to be a showdown between these two as the last lap commences. 43 is holding on to the 54. 43 is getting closer to the 54. 54 is struggling to defend that position right now. Look at her. Look at her from behind. Look at her from behind. She is very eager for a first win. She's trying to get past the 43. 54, I mean. And, well, Lynn, who has got some work to do now. He is trying to hold the leads as much as he can. Let's see how will they make it for this very important part of the track. This is going to be crucial. This is going to be important. Will number 43 make a move? Doesn't look like, but let's see. Anything can happen, and potentially could happen at the very last minute. We've seen drivers trying to take that very last opportunity and then make their way past for a race win, and it looks like this is not happening here just yet. So here we go. Battle between the two has not yet. We're coming to the last corner. Who's it going to be between the two? It looks like it's going to be Lean Hill here at Canada. He will take the win. He beats number 43 to the line, and he has just made it. Like, the number 43 just wasn't able to get in front. It wasn't enough for the 43 for what would have been a dream win for her and the number 43, and potentially very emotional. In fact, number 43 actually won a race in Canada. That was in fact Richard Petty's actual first win. Took place in Canada. Don't know where in Canada, but it was in Canada, and this could have been very emotional though. But Lane Hill takes that 43 away from, takes the win away from the number 43. After what we see, a thrilling battle between the two. This race has been more of between these two drivers, and pretty much not anybody else. Solomon Sheridan comes up in 3rd position. 4th place, Riley Hill. 5th place, Owen Scott. 6th place, Nikki Rive. Excellent one for her. Excellent race for her. Cam Wright Sr. up in 7th place. He is set to take over the championship points lead once again after this race. Daniel Bouchard 7th. Daniel Bouchard 8th, Alrighty Alajo 9th. And 10th, Ruben Gonzalez. Drew Walker in 11th place, after being in the top 10 for almost much of the race. And there you have it. So, but we gotta take a look at that replay between Jameson and Vulture, these two were technically teammates. Well, they're in the same mark as each other, but these two. Oh yeah, it does often happen. It does often happen. Don't let the race get ruined by these cars crashing themselves out. We don't want that. So anyway, right. What I promise is to take a look at the replay again between Jameson and the number 62. It was around lap 14. Definitely lap 14. Was it lap 14? Yes, it was that. It was at the end of lap 14. Let's see. Let's take a look again and see what happens. See, James Jameson just basically came right at the rear of Carl Varder, dumping him into the wall. And like he didn't care, then eventually losing control of his car, almost hit other cars around him. Let's take a look again. Okay, onboard camera. Look closer. Don't know if it's intentional or not, but was this intentional? I don't know if he touched or he couldn't lift. It seems to me that he has failed to lift, so he basically went right at the rear, like he doesn't care who's around him. Yeah, Owen Scott just barely approached him, wasn't able to control himself, and wasn't able to avoid that when he probably couldn't have, because this was a position where hardly many cars can go side by side there. Well, I mean, we've seen close racing over there, but I guess Owen Scott wasn't able to well, basically to how do I call it? He wasn't able to pull back. I guess he wasn't able to pull back. That's one thing, though. Yeah, it's too far away to be shown on the spectator cam. Alright, so been seeing a fight on the Discord chat. Right, I was just double checking something, so. Oh, Oh, what I was gonna do is check on who has the fastest lap time. Let's see, Lean Hill will bring home the fastest lap time. So that is pretty much a golden race today for Lean Hill. So there we go. So I guess we shall end it here, and then we shall hopefully bring in Japan in the next possible hour or so, probably 2. I think, well, we'll see. I'll decide when will we start bringing in Japan the next race. It'll depend on the time. We'll see. And yeah, we'll go from there. Anyway, let's wrap up Canada. And this has been an excruciating race. A bit clean. Well, it was rather clean, but lots of opportunities. You can see all the cars, making as much as they can with their cars. It's been a great race. Obviously, that only more of the highlight of the race we saw was obviously the Carl Walters crash with James Jameson, which it is still under investigation, just so that'll make it fairer for the drivers, because I guess this, I don't think anyone should get away with it, because that was a bit of a cheeky move from James Jameson. We'll see how it plays out. I think the best thing to do, leave it to the master. Leave it to the person in charge of looking into the race. I'll definitely speak to him, and I shall get it over with from then. So, in case if we do, I shall get that saved. Canada S5. Oops-a-daisy. So there you go. So that's the results saved. Or, I mean, the reply saved, just in case. And there you go. So that's it for today. Well, that's it for now. Ooh, sorry. My mouse is, and my hand is a bit shaking. So there you go. So we're here. Well, I mean, well, we're finally here at Canada. We've made it through, and well, let's get through this. Thank you everyone for this race they've enjoyed, and honestly, it's a great race. So let's bring it on with Japan. Hopefully in the next 1 or 2 hours. Thank you everyone once again, and hopefully I'll see you there at the next race. Take care everyone, and sayonara, y'all.